mom was a complex person, like all of us, only perhaps more so than most of us. She spent her life longing to be herself, really herself, the Ann that God imagined from before the foundation of the world. She had the courage to be dissatisfied with anything less than that. So she lived much of her life in dissatisfaction, yearning for that which she could only feel and imagine, that which could not be known intellectually, but could only be grasped by the Spirit and intuition. She loved the poetry of Gerard Manley Hopkins. His poetry is hard to read because he is such a creative wordsmith. This poem of his reminds me of my mother's soul. As kingfishers catch fire, dragonflies draw flame. As tumbled over rim and roundy well stones ring, like each tucked string tells, each hung bell's bow swung finds tongue to fling out broad its name. Each mortal thing does one thing and the same. Deals out that being indoors each one dwells. Selves. Goes itself. Myself it speaks and spells, crying, what I did is me, what I do is me, for that I came. It's even harder reading his poetry with tears in your eyes. I say more, the just man justices, keeps grace that keeps all his goings graces. Acts in God's eye what in God's eye he is, Christ. For Christ plays in 10,000 places, lovely in limbs and lovely in eyes not his, to the Father, through the features of men's faces. This desire to be wholly whole on the inside was expressed, perhaps surprisingly, on the outside. She continually sought her heart's true home. So she created home for herself, her family, and for others. So many throughout the decades, and in these last days, have said something like this. I learned what home is by visiting John and Ann's home. It's as if her continual hunger for home drove her to continually create incarnations of home that were, for her, always frustratingly inadequate. Beautiful, but not quite right yet. But they were, for others, far beyond what they had ever experienced or could imagine. In this way, she was a pioneer, following her Savior, who said to his disciples, don't let yourselves be disturbed. Trust in God and trust in me. In my Father's home are many homes. If there weren't, I would have told you. Because I am going there to prepare a home for you. Since I am going and preparing a home for you, I will return to take you with me, so that where I am, you may be also.